Are you feeling better now?
Yeah,
Thank
I
you
mean,
very
it's just,
yeah.
it's crazy, man. The first thing is the product, the second thing is the compensation plan, third thing is the company, fourth thing is leadership, fifth thing is the global expansion, the sixth thing is the person you're going to be working with, and the seventh thing is obviously you as the individual. And so just quickly, so the one thing is you've got to remember that the Consumer Protection Act of South Africa sort of guarantees you that any company is going to have to give your money back within the first 7 days. Specifically, if you look at a legitimate network marketing company, and that's the majority of them. I mean, there's 28 companies that are part of the DSA, so that's actually one of the requirements is that the DSA stands for the Direct Selling Association. But what they actually, all of them will give back, I've got what they call a buyback policy. So for instance, you can be part of that company, try the products for up to 30 days, and then they will give you a satisfaction guarantees, or they'll do a refund for you if you're not satisfied with the opportunity. It's almost like a cooling down period, if I can call it that. So with our company specifically, we offer 90 days, just because we feel that people are going to get better results if they stick on the products for longer, because obviously you're not working with a allopathic, medication that sort of someone takes and straight away they feel better. You're working with something that's obviously more natural, so it can take a lot longer for people. So any legitimate network marketing company is going to have what they call a buyback policy. So they're going to say, listen, you can be part of this company, and if you're not happy within the first 30 days, return the empty containers of the product or return the products that you've bought, and we'll gladly refund you. So that's actually one of the requirements of the industry. So and that's obviously very often what's not going to happen is when people invest money, the people aren't going to give you your money back. I mean, or it's going to be, well, you can say maybe I can withdraw the money. But for me, always the challenge with that is very often is that if you're investing in something where you're putting money towards it or a currency towards it, is that the problem is sometimes when everyone wants to draw back their money at the same time, because there's maybe negative press or there's something that happens and you want to get your money back. So it looks great if it looks on the computer screen. It says, oh, I've got 5 million rand now, in this currency. But you've got to reinvest it every month. You've got to compound it. And sometimes I've also seen with other companies, what they do is in the beginning, they say you can take 100% out, but then they sort of build things in and they say, okay, now you can only withdraw 50% of it per month. To stop people from all withdrawing their money at the same time, because they can't fund it, because they need new investors to carry on putting money in. And if you have a turn, maybe it's even with Bitcoin, which obviously has increased quite a bit. I mean, 40% in the last month or so, because of the halving event that's taken place. But even with that, it's great when it's increasing. But the problem is, what do you do when it's not increasing, when it's actually going down? And that you can't keep up those returns. So that for me is also something that's always worrying. So, but for me, to be honest, I was saying to a friend of mine the other day, I've got no issue with people investing in it. But for me personally, I won't do that, because I don't want to fuel something that I've worked so hard over the last 10, 12 years to protect, the industry and being an ambassador for the industry. If that's potentially is going to fuel something that I don't believe in, fundamentally, I feel is not right, But that's just a matter of principle. It's not even, I'm sure there will be a lot of people that will make a lot of money in a lot of different things. Definitely. You could have made a lot of money in doing loads of things over the last 50 years. But for me, it's really about how does it make you feel. If it makes you feel good with whatever you do, then I think go for it. But I would just be very cautious not to sit with egg on your face when you got friends to invest money and they lost their money, because you might think people are their friends and they won't have an issue with it, but you know what people do. So for me, I would rather, if I was going to do something like that, I would say, okay, well, I'll invest the money, but I'm not going to get anyone involved. I'd rather if I can put 10,000 Rand in and make in the next 5 years 10 million Rand, then I'd rather put in 100,000 Rand and give all my friends that really need money, I'll give them the money. But I'll take the risk on me. I'm not going to make a commission for referring other people to something where it's potentially something that's, because here's the reality, just quickly in sharing that, because I think I've spoken about this before, but when someone's saying to you that you can potentially make a return of 15% a month or 30% a month, that means that if you put in just as an example, 1,000 Rand a month for the next 10 years, you would have like 227 trillion Rand.
Where do I do
for
that?
$1,000 a month, you know what? I mean, that would be the most amazing investment that I've ever that you do. I mean, why would you? I mean, yeah, it's crazy. I mean, you'd be by far the wealthiest person in the world. And it's not only you that's going to be the other 30, 40, 50, 100,000 people involved also. They're all going to make the same return. So for me, that's just like, for me, I actually just couldn't stomach actually sharing that with someone to say to them, listen, this is what, it's not, obviously it's not guaranteed, but also what happens very often with these things, in the beginning, it looks good. And as people get involved in making the returns, those things change. And as there are enough people involved, the returns aren't that good, because sometimes also what happens is the more people get involved, the bigger the pool becomes, but you're also sharing that pool with more people. So then at the end of the day, what ends up happening is the only people that really make money are people that are out there recruiting people. The people that just made the investment aren't really going to make the return. But on all of this is all just my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just obviously passionate about the industry. And yeah, I mean, this is obviously for every single person. It's completely up to them to decide. It's their money. You can do with your money whatever you want to. But I'm just very wary of things like that, because it's just I think if you actually really think about it as an intelligent human being, then you would realize that return is really impossible. And I actually want to just close the discussion there on that specific topic.
Are you feeling better now?
Yeah,
Thank you very
much.
No, I'm just joking with you. I really appreciate your time today, and I think anybody that's been part of looking at all these new schemes, and I think it's a perfect time to do that. Like you said, I think everybody's in fear and everybody's in the need of making extra money, so it's all these kind of schemes coming out of the surface and almost at the right time. So I don't think it's coincidence.
I wanted to mention this, and maybe just in closing, I think, just if there are 7 things I think you really need to look at, I think the first thing is, when choosing any opportunity, the first thing is always going to come down to the product that you're using. I think the next thing is going to be the compensation plan of the company, to make sure it's it's a rewarding compensation plan, in the sense of, and it's very focused on it's customer driven, because obviously if it's just focused on recruiting, and not on customers, then it's also definitely definitely be a red flag for me. I think the next thing, just quickly, the third thing, just in closing, is look at the company. Like, how long has the company been in business? Who runs the company? Is it a public company? Is it a private company? Look at those sorts of things. The fourth thing is look at the leadership of the company. Look at the global expansion. Can you do business all over the world? How many countries is the business operating? Is there opportunity for growth? And then the last thing, I think, also look at the person that you're going to be working with. Like, for me, that's something, we've obviously got a very big organization, but for me, the people that I see make a massive success is that they like working with the person that they've signed up with. So for me, you've got to have a very, very good relationship. There's got to be a lot of trust. You've got to know this person can support you with meetings and trainings and all that sort of thing. That's something that's very, very important. Lastly, it's also important for you as an individual that you've got to realize that most people aren't always entrepreneurial. So when you get involved in something like this, and you're not called to be an entrepreneur, that it's important that you're also willing to take a chance, and you're willing to go out there and take a leap of faith, and willing to speak to people. And because I think, for me, honestly, what I just want to quickly close with this is that very often what happens if you've got I spoke about this last night actually in a leadership call, but if you think about this being the y-axis and the y-axis being results, and this is like the x-axis, and the x-axis obviously the time. Very often people think it's like if the curve is actually just going to be like this. It's just going to be a 90 degree curve going all the way up, because that's what they think. That's what they think really should happen. And what people don't realize is that how it actually works is it's actually going to probably be something like this. So that if the 90 degree curve is here, it's actually going to be something that's going to be quite challenging, and eventually you'll make a success. And the problem is that most people in that in between, where you think it is and where there's like almost that space there, that's where most people stop, is because they think it's not going to work. They don't have the perseverance to push through. It's the same thing as, think about like 1 degree, what difference 1 degree can make. I mean, at 99 degrees, it's boiling, it's hot water, but at 100 degrees, it's boiling water, and that can power a steam train. Or you can make electricity from that, like you can power cities. So literally it's that 1% that makes such a big difference in the long run. So I want to encourage you is that realize that not only in this business, but in any business, that there are going to be, there's the dream that you have, then there's the struggles you need to go through, and then ultimately you have the victory in the end. So it's definitely not a get rich quick scheme. It does take time and effort, and but it's definitely, without a doubt, it's an industry out there that gives the most people the biggest opportunity to make success, because it doesn't cost an arm and a leg to get involved. You can start off in this industry for $50 and you can earn $1 million. So that for me is also something that's really, really important to realize. It's not a 2 to 5 week plan, it's a 2 to 5 year plan of consistent effort. And it's a life-changing opportunity for people who do decide to pursue it. So so I'm sorry, I realized that I haven't actually given you all the reasons, and people might have been on the call and they were asking, like, how do you choose? And I haven't even mentioned. So the first thing is the product, the second thing is the compensation plan, third thing is the company, fourth thing is leadership, fifth thing is the global expansion, the sixth thing is the person you're going to be working with, and the seventh thing is obviously you as the individual.
Thank you for watching. Just a quick reminder to grab your gift bag for entrepreneurs in the link below. It's a gift bag for entrepreneurs to the value of 57,000 Rand, free of charge. All you need to do is activate it. Part of that gift bag for entrepreneurs is a voucher of 3 months for 3 months free accounting services from a company, Dryk Holdings. All you need to do is activate the gift bag voucher in the link below, and we will be in contact with you as soon as you've done that.